What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Echo 4. It's your boy, the Mad Prince. I'm gonna be your moderator for today, and we're talking about Loki. Introduce the rest of Echo 4. Go ahead and say what's up.
Booty Monique.
Yo, Ken San.
And it's your girl Drea.
All right, but this episode, damn, I don't even know what the name of this episode of Loki is. Shit. Can anybody help a motherfucker out?
No.
I could research it really quickly.
All right.
Journey into the mystery.
Something I did not write down.
Okay.
Journey into mystery.
Okay. All right. So, Loki, well, it picks up right where we left off last week. Get certain truths about the TVA unveiled. A couple people get dusted, and naturally, this is like it's a Marvel film, and we know that the heroes, and I use the term hero loosely, aren't really dusted and aren't really dead and shit. So yeah, this kind of picks up right from that. Protagonist, sure. Anti-hero. Alligator. We'll get into that. Let's get some impressions going. How do y'all feel about this episode? About the penultimate episode? Because next episode, that's it. That's the season finale.
I enjoyed how they kind of just like toss it all out there, and it's like, this is what's going on. It's like, okay, we're just going to accept this and move on. And this is how it's great. It's a lot of comedic relief I gotten from this episode that I kind of really felt we needed from this series, because I started to get a little too serious to some degree, which, Loki as a character, I feel like he is entertaining to us because he is the god of mischief. That is partially like wrongdoings, but a little bit of comedy in there. Usually when it comes to mischief, like it's not 100% serious like stuff. Like usually most of the time, like like with other like characters, like I want to say the Joker, for example, like with the Trickster, like in the DC universe, like it was a character, a Flash villain, which he similar to the Joker, where like, he would put these pranks on the Flash to but they're like extreme pranks. But at the same time, he's not 100% serious with his motives and how he goes about with his goals and stuff. But part of his act is like the comedic relief. It's like a not to say sick comedy, but it's just some comedic relief there. But just seeing this episode play through and seeing some things that I was hoping for when they first talked about this show, introduced the show, coming to fruition, and I was like, yes, I've been waiting for this. So overall, I like the episode.
Okay. Who next? Brittany?
Sure. Okay, so I really like this episode a lot. There was a character that did some boss ass shit towards the end, and I was so here for it. Also got some really sweet moments from Loki and Sylvie, so that was really cute. And overall, I really enjoyed this episode, and that cliffhanger just like got me itching for next week. So I definitely enjoyed this episode multiple ways. Like Ken said, it was a lot more humorous this episode, and yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay, Drea?
I actually appreciate the overall tonality because it made it such an interesting episode. We get very intense, really heartfelt comedy, but it got me on the edge of my seat. So I'm like, yes, this is how you bring everything into the fold. So I'm really excited for the next episode. I'm enjoying Loki overall, and I'm overly impressed for another miniseries. Okay, Disney Marvel, you put your foot in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think my first impression. I think what I said was and I quote, yes, Sylvie, burn this motherfucker down. I screamed that out loud At what? 8 in the morning. for one of my neighbors in here. Let's keep it a
They're
buck.
like, what?
I mean, well, let's keep it a buck. I've said enough questionable shit on a live feed that this is probably that is probably tame. No, there was a lot going on here. Man, and like seeing the void, which is basically like a double ground for all the TVA's bullshit, and just seeing how that played out was fucking great. And then the Lokis and all shit. It was a fun episode, and it did a lot to further the plot. So yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this episode. So yeah. Oh, that's right, I'm moderating. Shut up. Yeah, so all right, let's break down every segment, well, not every segment, but every general segment about what happened. Let's talk about what we pick up right after we find out that the timekeepers are androids, and I still hold to the belief that this whole thing is a motherfucker just jerking off somewhere who's behind the shit. Well, it's not a cabin anymore, it's some sort of like interdimensional castle. That's obvious.
There's a glow.
We have
up
a
in
place now.
Yeah, there's a place. It's not a cabin, but it's definitely.
Class cabin.
I mean,
A
maybe
billionaire's cabin.
it's got some jerk off energy. I don't know.
Well, I guess there'll be a cabin considering they control all of time.
Well, we don't know who the fuck is in that bitch.
We don't know.
It could be a Loki variant. If it's a Loki variant, y'all will be upset.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll say that shit later. Okay, so we pick up right at the TVA, Sylvie and Renslayer doing their thing, so on and so forth. What y'all think about that scene and the implications? Because basically, we find out, because now Renslayer, who's basically employee of eternity, a century, or whatever the fuck not. She basically learned that the timekeepers she been taking orders from and shit, they're fake. They're fake as shit. Like I don't know, like Hollywood YouTube friends or some shit. They're fake as fuck. So basically. So now both of them are kind of like incentivized to try to find out the like who is behind all this shit though, but the motivations are somewhat different and so on and so forth. So I just kind of want to get like what y'all think about that specifically.
Honestly, it was one of the most frustrating parts because I felt like if Renslayer was honest about like just teaming up with Sylvie to figure out who was behind the smoke screen or whatever, then I would have really been into the fact that, you know, basically somewhat of an antagonist in the hero of this story teaming up to, you know, get or figure out the bigger issue. But like she had to be a snake, and I hate that Miss Minutes was a part of this whole thing because she's like, yeah, girl, I'm looking for the file. Mm-hmm. Always real deep in there. I was just
Be
like, oh,
you
y'all
lying
some
bitch.
bullshit.
You
Yes.
lying bitch.
I'm like, Miss Minutes, what's going on? So yeah, I was a little disappointed, but not surprised by that scene for sure.
Okay. Ken?
You know, after you start talking about Miss Minute, like kind of makes sense how jumping back to one of our other series with the Bad Batch, how Crosshair was just like shoot the little girl first. It's like in that instance, like no, you probably want to get Miss Time first because she's the one that signaled them motherfuckers to come through while also helping to stall. I was like she wouldn't be able to play that bluff along if it wasn't for her, or at least she wouldn't get reinforcement when they come through. It was for like, no, you got Miss Time, like she's the main one, and at least with that TV part of TVA organization, you got to make sure you take out first. But aside from that, Renslayer, like her realization, her reality was shattered once the timekeeper robot was beheaded. But I would say that she wants to find out why or find out who, but she definitely has ulterior motive, and I think it may be leaning more towards trying to take over, or just because she seems to, I won't say power hungry, but like she definitely enjoyed her position and controlling the TVA and keeping this sense of order. So with the disarray of like, oh, I'm not working for who I thought I was working for, what's the realization? And so with this structure already in place, if she could potentially take it over, then she make it hers, then then she can make it the way she wants to, which kind of has been the case for the most part, because before she just take simple orders from these, what she didn't know before, but they're these lizards, but lizard gods, and just do whatever that simple order, and I'm sure she wants to keep her throne to whatever extent it is. So I don't trust her. She just has ulterior motives, and Sylvie shouldn't trust her. I know she doesn't, but yeah, it was just her trying to survive and keep an eye on her.
Girl. Andrea.
I love conniving ass villains. I do. It's just so delicious. I want to shout out for Gugu for playing that bitch because she even had me kind of convinced, but it took me a while to realize that her and Hunter B15 are just opposites of a coin. B15 realized all the shit's fake. She like, tear this shit down. Renslayer find out this shit is fake and she doubles down on it. She's like, this is what I've been living. This is what I've been doing. I still need to protect time. Fuck if they're not real. We still have a job to do. We still have a task. So even though it's like she's just as ambitious to figure out who it is just to still self-contain everything. Just even though she already kind of knew everybody was very anxious, I think she's more pissed that she wasn't in the know. But I'm supposed to know. You can lie to the rest of these motherfuckers. You ain't supposed to lie to me. I've been in this shit for the
that's outside your tax bracket, woman.
Right, exactly.
It's kind of funny because isn't that kind of how Loki felt when he was like when Thanos lieutenants, and then he was sent after Earth, and then like after he failed, and then like Loki's like, hey, help me out. I was like, nah, you dispersed. You're dismissed. And then like with the time kids, like, yeah, it's like, so yeah, Renslayer made me feel the same. Like, oh, so like I thought, I was your favorite. I thought we was in this together. Like I was coming to you every single day, taking your orders on my knees, and all of a sudden you ain't even real. Like, what's up with that?
I'm not in the know.
I'll be real, Joe.
B15.
I'm gonna be real. I'd be upset if I find out that I've been working from all eternity to a fucking toaster. Like, bro, I'd be upset. Like, nigga.
In reality, this is controlled by the brave little toaster.
Like, it's bad enough I live my life by a smart.
I like toast and butter.
Like, it's bad enough that I live my life by a smartphone. Now you telling me that these motherfuckers just what these androids or whatever the fuck they are, or whatever the fuck they're supposed to be, sitting in these chairs and dishing out judgment like they actually worth a damn, and like, yo, this shit don't matter to y'all. Who fucking, yeah, so I'd be upset. I wouldn't be like, no, we need to do this, we need more of this shit. Yo, that's like, imagine that's like showing like somebody religious like definitive proof that their God does not exist. Imagine that shit. Like, I mean, not definitive proof, just challenging this shit. Like, I mean, like, it'd be like, yo, grandma, I'm gonna be real. Like, this shit don't scientifically make sense. Like, nigga, shut up. Just be on bullshit. Just be like,
I need to dive into more faith. That's a challenge.
Yeah, man. Because even though the TVA is a bureaucratic nightmare, it has some seriously religious undertones and like the devotion to protecting the sacred timeline. And basically it's not basically Renslayer, I feel, is having like a crisis of faith in what her purpose and what the TVA is supposed to do, and instead of trying to wake up and smell the coffee and shit, she's trying to double down and trying to clutch onto whatever semblance of purpose might have like whatever might have been for what she did, and so logic is just not even a factor at this point. She's just no she's a zealot at this point, just doing shit just because that's what makes sense to her, and not because like like it was all a dream. Like that's the shit that
I would say for her, like, this has become her reality because she's been in it for so long. I mean, if you saw it from the flashback, she's been in it since she's been a variant that's been working in here for so long, since she was one of the soldiers out there, like, taking these people in.
Them be the worst
And then she worked her
co-workers,
way
Joe. Them be the worst co-workers, Joe, who been there since the company was founded and shit. Like, yeah, I
She's
know,
like, I have seniority.
I know the first CEO. Why the fuck
yeah, and
do
that's
you
it.
know the why are you still working here? Why do you like
Seniority, bitches. Seniority.
How do I get paid more than you then? Like this shit makes no sense. Like you should like, bro.
That's how you, because when you at the time when you start to move up into it, you get more invested into it. So she's really invested into the TVA. So what she wants ultimately, I would say, is to keep the TVA, but under her control.
She sound like a yes master ass nigga. That's what that sound like, Joe.
Because like, what was this reality? Because she really, you know, she's going to reality. Like, you know, the whole life that she has is not what she knows. So, well, she hasn't gotten her memories unlocked. Yeah,
I think she already
You wanna
knew
lose
that they're
social
variants, and
Thanos?
she doesn't care. She just found a greater purpose, and so she was okay with having, you know, this glorious purpose to keep the TVA running. But it was so funny when B-15 is like, "You're not gonna beat her. She needs this. You want it."
If I hit a phrase,
yeah,
glorious purpose, one
she's
more
invested into
goddamn
the
time.
TVA. So she
Wasn't
wants
that
to keep
Will?
the TVA.
I said, if I hear the phrase glorious purpose one more fucking time, bro. He said it so much, and it's shut up, Brittany. All right, did anybody say what they had to say about that? Or okay, all right, Gucci. All right, so let's delve into the void. Damn, like look, all right, unrelated note. I just had a flashback of like when Zahir like lost his bay in the most fucked up way possible, and he was like break the tether.
Why did you remember that?
No, because I say into like because it was like break the tether into the void, and
Void.
that nigga became so fucking. Yo, if that's all it took, like bro. That's anyway. No, that was just random. No, yeah, shit. That was
Back to the show.
Yeah, back to the show. All right, let's talk about the void now. So Loki, clearly not dead. We find this out at the last episode. He wakes up to a group of like Loki variants. Excuse me. An older version of himself, a black Loki, kid Loki, and an alligator Loki, and basically they're running from this whatever the fuck this being Alanor, whatever the fuck his name is, who basically consumes matter pretty much to feed himself, and like we learn later on he's like a gatekeeper or some shit though. So yeah, so did y'all notice like all the shit in the landscape that's just peppered? Yeah, like it was a lot of fucking it was a lot of fucking
ahead,
Easter
Ken.
eggs and shit. Go ahead, bro.
That's Ken's zone. Go ahead.
I mean, I just want to get the main one out the way that I'm sure you want to talk about that.
The Thanos helicopter?
Yeah.
That bullshit, that shit still don't make sense. Like, nigga, you literally a space alien. Why would you need a helicopter with your name on it? Like that makes no that's that 70s bullshit that made no sense, bro.
That made no sense. But it was a cute little Easter egg for, the comic book readers. So
It's like, bro, you like a 12-foot purple nigga. We know who you are. Like
It's just a way of showcasing how diverse the multiverse is and how much they intend on taking the content from the past and mixing into like different universes. Because I think what we're gonna do is like take the different decades of content and make that like different universes, more multiverses of content, and kind of mesh that in together. Which I'm like that. I like that because like it's different eras feel like different time zones sometimes. I mean, it is the time zones, but I feel like different universes sometimes, depending on the time zone you're working with. Like, if you go back 100 years in the 1920s or Roaring 20s, in Chicago, for example, where we went to school at in Columbia, back then that was a red light district. Completely different.
God damn, and that's fucked up because they really didn't let us drink on campus over some bullshit, even though we did it anyway.
Uh-huh.
Well, I never
you
did
know-
it because I was straight edge, but at the
Sure
time,
was.
yeah.
I
Imagine
knew
that.
Will when he
Imagine
was
that.
straight.
Imagine that. Your boy used to be straight edge. I
Because
can't.
my face is wrinkled. I'm like, you did?
Yeah,
Right,
I used to be straight edge.
Oh,
That-
what happened?
That sounds like a different variant,
Life.
doesn't it?
It
There's a
does
real
like a
variant.
variant of Will.
Yeah, okay. But
I know both.
Damn.
nah, it's just that the reasons behind it just didn't make sense at a certain point. So I just said fuck it. And plus, like that was a lit ass weekend. I was graduating. I was at ASIN, and so I
Wanted to
just
celebrate.
yeah. So yeah, I just decided like, well, fuck it. Here we go.
I got
Welcome
photos.
really to the dark side.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And I smoked my first bowl the next year, so it was so I went downhill after that. So shit, it was a downhill crash course.
I was
my
saying
dude.
you were lifted.
I'm like, damn,
Hi.
bro.
I gotta go through these episodes and just pull them out.
I
All
swear.
the kids. Yeah, I got to. I'm a
Even
sit down
at
and
meetups, he just keeps on going. I'm like, you don't stop. This is embedded in your entity.
This is his core.
It's in your DNA. Anyway, back to the
KO and the kin.
Yeah. Okay. So anybody notice any other Easter eggs? I saw a couple beyond that Thanos copter bullshit.
Oh, I saw the Thor frog.
Yeah, that shit
That
was.
too.
Yeah.
I
that-
was
the hell is
confused for a
that?
moment.
No,
Exactly. I'm like,
that was the thing. Thor got turned into a frog at one point, and like, yeah, the frog of thunder. That shit. Anybody notice the yellow jacket helmet, the giant yellow jacket helmet?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah,
From
so-
Ant-Man.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
they
didn't
had
see that
the
one.
giant yellow yeah, they had the it was like giant, like, because it's Ant-Man, he can expand size, get small and shit. So yeah, they had this massive ass yellow jacket head just in the landscape and
That's
shit.
cool.
Yeah, so it was a lot of Easter eggs. Like, if you like Marvel fan and shit, like you kind of geeked out over some of this shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had some fun with it. It's like, you know what, this is a multiverse mashup. Let's have some fun. It's kind of like what they with Ragnarok and Thor Ragnarok. Like I said, that planet, that junk planet.
Yeah.
I feel like they had a little fun with that planet. As like that, they took that concept and kind of like embellished it a little more in this.
Perfect opportunity, right? Because the setting is not it's so busy that a specific Easter egg won't distract you from whatever else is actually going on. So they can just be like, I'm gonna put here, put there. So
it's like
good time to do
we
it.
thought they were in New York City, but they aren't. It was just a planet, but they just happen to have a piece of New York there with the tower as well.
Mhm.
So the tower itself, I would say, would be an Easter egg from which timeline, which it was, post-apocalyptic.
Where they clearly lost. That's what
Yeah.
the timeline where they clearly took that L. Shit. Okay. Anybody else got anything they want to mention before we move on? All right. So
not even the Easter egg. Okay, never mind.
what's up? No. What? No. What's up?
Oh, as in, like, it's a really fun landscape, especially when they're traveling and shit is being dropped off as they speak. Like, here we go. Boop.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Here's a ship. Boop. So it's like the world building of this little bubble of a universe is really interesting. It's like, yeah, we don't really erase branches. We just dump them here.
Pretty much.
And these innocent people, they just die for the timeline, for all of time.
Yeah.
Like, this shit gets darker the further we get into this shit.
It is getting dark, quite dark.
Yep. Okay. So what we got? What's next? Let's talk about the meeting of the Lokis. That
Which one?
shit. Let's just, we gonna be on this one for a minute, so let's just say like all of them. So like I just said, we meet Loki. The main character Loki meets variant versions of himself. Then they get taken to a bunker and shit, and then it's just more Lokis. Like I don't know how else
so
to
ghetto.
describe this entire, like, just like, yo, I would
Chaos.
not, yo, imagine, like, I'm just, all I know is that if it was me, I would hate everybody in that room, in that bunker, Joe. I'm like, bro, I
No,
could not stomach this shit. Like,
it showed like just about every single one of them hate each other. That's why they all cross each other.
Man,
like,
they backstab with the quickness.
it was a battle royale.
no, I betrayed you. No, I betrayed you. No, we betrayed you. What the?
It's like-
You know what that reminded me of? Like in Ragnarok, when Thor anticipated Loki backstabbing him. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not even phased anymore, brother. You can
Right,
just be more than
exactly.
what you are. And then I think Loki just felt that shit. He like, I be on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Right, I was like, I could be better.
He said, damn, this is
Will
what it's like. This is what y'all been seeing. I'm tired like y'all.
it says something.
That's
It's
exactly
ghetto.
what it felt like.
That's why the old Loki was like, he just got tired of that shit and left. That's why he's like, here y'all go again. He's like, man, this is why I told you can't trust none of them.
Yeah, he's like, all y'all do is backstab, and like
on that DMX shit. Here we go again. Like, god damn,
right,
bro.
exactly.
Like he was mad,
Yes.
like you gave them the passcode to the treehouse. Them niggas weren't invited. And
I
they
was gonna
ruined our
say-
Yeah,
treehouse.
all them Lokis just pulled up. Like, god damn it. Ain't this a
They
bitch?
did.
He said, which
Get
Loki are
Loki.
you?
Loki, you.
I
man.
like
I'm the one who had
Get
enough.
Loki,
I'm the
y'all.
one who's had enough of this shit, Joe. Imagine that bullshit, Joe. Like, even in like the eternity of time, Lokis are still the most problematic. How the fuck? I would hate, yo, how much of an asshole do you have to be for that to be like a literal constant across the infinity of like variant timelines? Just for Lokis to be that much of a fucking problem. Yeah, we gonna make you work for us to catch another version of you while we've been dealing with you on a regular fucking basis. Nigga, that's exhausting, bro.
This man, the leader, Loki of that group. I noticed like the pin he has, like
Yeah.
it's like a presidential pin. Like, is this like a presidential Loki? Like President Loki? Like
President
I was
Loki.
like,
That's his name, President Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to give a special spotlight to Kid Loki. Kid Loki killed Thor. That shit was so false. How he revealed this. Like, well, what was your
Or
next
killed
event?
Thor.
I killed Thor. I was
He's like,
That
well,
was a
damn.
flex. That was a literal
It was
flex.
It really was. I was like, yo, I fucks with this kid already.
Yo, but why did Black Loki had to be Lando in this though, bro? That shit. I'm kind of like, bro, come on now. Why y'all had to make the Black
name
Loki
called Loki is
Thanos?
Loki.
Like not Thanos, Lando in this, Joe. Why he had to be the one
Had
to
to
kick off the
betray.
betrayal bullshit, Joe?
Like, look, he was lying about everything. It just made sense.
He is
That nigga
boastful
said-
Loki. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Because-
it was
because-
in the name.
It's either the Black Loki or the old Loki, because they're not gonna
Old
make the
Loki-
alligator Loki.
Oh, Loki a G though, cause you know what?
He is.
Here's the thing.
I'm saying, like, because like they wanted to keep old Loki to be the G, so the Black Loki will be the one that is gonna betray him.
Like Black Loki is like variant as hell. Alligator Loki is like so fucking variant. Like old Loki is just like the main character Loki, just at a old, just older.
Different.
Yeah.
Like the
It's
timeline
one
is basically
simple-
slain up until like Thanos comes through on his bullshit.
Mhm.
That's where the shit.
Mhm.
That's where the shit becomes divergent. So they're practically the same up to a point.
Yeah. Like, I'm your
Well,
future
yeah.
self.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of like playing to the theories. Like the moment somebody makes a decision, the universe splits into the different versions of what your decision is.
Well,
So like,
yeah, but normally in time travel, that's how it works, though. But in the context of this show, that's not even certain because any sort of deviant timeline, it gets snuffed out. Like I don't know, like they putting down animals and shit. Like it's just I don't know.
but you see it.
Who goes after that fucking alligator like you ate a cat?
I mean, you see how big the TVA is, and you see how big these how varied these variants are. I mean, there's a variant of a Loki as a whole nother species. So like,
yeah, but
Loki's
are
I'm so humor.
but the existence of Loki's is basically threatening the whole of space time. Like it's a constant fucking threat. How like
they roaches?
Exactly.
Roaches of the universe.
It's the biggest variable.
Damn.
It's tangible.
They are literally roaches of the whole of existence. That's fucked up. That is fucked up.
That is fucked up. That is fucked up.
That's why he told him, like, baby, you not even the scary one.
Yeah,
Just regular
say that shit. Like,
schmegular
no,
Loki.
we got frost giants. We got fucking like, bro, you know, you're pussycat. I'm like, bro,
You just basic.
no,
You not
You're basic
premium.
Loki.
I'd have proved you
mad
myself,
that
motherfucker.
This
Damn.
shit was so crazy that the crocodile didn't even face him. He like, I'm not even phased at this shit.
No.
Is real. What the fuck am I?
He's like that Loki. Okay, it's that.
Sure. Whatever.
It is what it is.
He's like, I don't even know what day it is. I don't know how long I've been out of New York. Let me know.
That was a real
fuck
ass
am I?
statement. That was a real ass
really
statement.
was.
It was like I don't know how long it's been since I've been from New York.
Yeah.
And then the question when New York was.
Yeah.
That's how big New York is.
Did y'all catch that? What the old Loki was saying that like the daggers keep them from.
Okay, hold up,
really,
wait.
like-
I was
He
gonna mention.
said
I was
that's
gonna
my
mention some
point.
shit. I was gonna mention some shit
Okay.
about like the older versions of like
Okay.
Asgardians and shit. Though.
All right.
Cause like no, you know what? I had to mention it later because that comes up much later in the episode. So go ahead and say what you about to say.
Saying like just for him to like kind of tell him that you know how powerful they can really be, and obviously we see it towards the end, but it was just like
Yeah.
I never even thought that was a thing that was keeping him almost okay. I know that. Have you guys read the Kyoshi books?
I'm still working on the second one, but continue, sis, continue.
No.
Okay, well, Kyoshi uses those fans as like a way to channel her avatar ability. But if she didn't have those fans, she would be a lot more like,
Girl.
yeah, a lot more just
Girl.
chaotic. And she'd be way stronger. But she
This
didn't
baby
know how to.
can't move a pebble because she can move a mountain. She does not know how to work.
Yeah,
the
she don't know how to like
ball.
control her strength at all. But those
No.
fans were able to kind of like help her bend and be more precise with it. It kind of reminded me of that, and I thought that was really interesting because, you know, Loki, like in Avengers, I thought he was pretty strong, but then like as more villains were introduced to the MCU, it was just like, I guess Loki is not as much of a threat as I thought he was. But then this episode kind of showed, oh, those are his capabilities. So I just thought that was really interesting.
Because this version of Loki had like probably like centuries to just like chill the fuck out.
Mhm.
Because both like him and Thor like 1,000 years, like 1,000 plus years old and shit though.
Yeah.
And by Asgardian standards, they're basically like in their fucking what 20s, 30s maybe. So so because that shit made sense. Old Loki.
It does.
Old Loki being as powerful as he is, that shit made sense because like I've mentioned like old like King Thor, like old Thor when he becomes king of Asgard, like later down in the line. I mentioned that this nigga was literally knocking motherfuckers across the universe, literally. Like just like nah,
I can believe that.
like nah, fuck you and your mother. Bam, just knock to the other side of the universe. Run up, catch up, knock him back. Like, yeah, because I think they're gonna kind of touch on that storyline. I think on the next Thor movie, Love and Thunder. Because we meet because when did we meet King Thor? We meet King Thor because like coincidentally, it's somebody fucking with time while we meet King Thor. Because basically Thor the Avenger young Thor and King Thor meet each other. And like it's a motherfucker named Gore, the God Butcher, going around killing gods in the universe. And so basically, eventually King Thor like just has enough of the bullshit and just started fighting Gore, the God Butcher, and just knocking this nigga across the universe like he's ping pong. We might see King Thor later on, because King Thor has like because like he lost an entire arm, and like one of his arms is like the arm of like what was that the Destroyer, the thing that killed him in the first Thor movie. Like that whole metal, he has like a whole metal arm.
Yeah, the one that like kind of transforming a little bit.
Yeah, he has like a whole metal arm, and one of his eyes is missing, and he kind of looks like Odin. I mean, because he's his son, so like Odin's version of Odin, but Odin was never that buff.
Version of Odin.
He looks like an older cut version of Odin, because Odin was never that swole. Odin just like an old ass nigga, like, and King Thor just like an old ass nigga who does Bowflex, which hits different. I'm like, bro, no. It was
good to me.
It was weird.
Like Zeus.
Yeah, it was weird when one of his granddaughters tried to make it past a younger Thor, but you know, we
all in this together.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm not surprised by the fact that older Loki is as powerful as he is. Just a random shit. Okay, so there's that. So what we got? So what I want to talk about is Sylvie. So with her dialogue with Renslayer and shit, and we see Sylvie, she basically yeets herself into the void, which is I don't know how else to describe that shit. Just like bucket and just yeah.
See,
What's up?
Give us free.
that was some blind belief in the fact that out of everything that Renslayer told her, she believed that there is another realm. Like when you get proven you ain't dead, you just sent somewhere. Like that's a huge ass risk. Like I'm about to be disintegrated.
Well,
I'm surprised she was telling the truth.
Well, the best lies are one peppered with truth. Those are because trust me, I know shit. I've had to get out of work a few times to be like, no, nigga, I'm in St. Louis visiting the family, nigga. Don't bother me. Oh, okay, nah, you wouldn't be able to work, knowing full well I ain't been in St. Louis in 5 years, so I'm recounting shit. I'm recounting shit that happened when I was 5 years younger, like just so yeah.
I mean, whatever. It's work. Who cares? They don't care about you. You don't care about them.
Especially
that's why you take your days off.
No, this
take
was
that vacation, y'all.
No, this wasn't my current job. This is when I was working at fucking Jules.
Fuck Jules.
Yeah, fuck Jules.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I had to deal with. Why did everybody and their mother come to that Jules? Like everybody and their mother on the south side came to that specific fucking Jules. I don't know why. That shit was so fucking.
That.
Damn. Let's not say on camera, but the one by the one by Columbia.
Gotcha.
That one. Yeah. I remember one time a couple walked up to me and like the guy was clearly heated, just randomly asked me like, hey, let me ask you a question. I'm like, okay. Like, hey, so if another nigga gets in your girl's pussy, he pretty much got at it, right? I'm like, wait a minute.
Wait.
There was no segue into this. He was like, yo, if he put the tip in, yo, that's cheating, right? And what's fucked up. The situation was clearly fucked up. But the funniest shit was the look on his girl's face, cause she looked guilty as fuck. And I'm like, bro, nigga. I'm thinking to myself, bro, come on, man. I get paid minimum wage. This ain't the time for this shit. But but his girl knew. So his girl must have gave him an excuse that whoever she was fucking with was only put the tip in for like a minute. But
Hey.
boy, she knew that was the look on her face said that she knew that was a bullshit reason, and yet she went with it. Boy,
That man was contemplating very hard.
I'm mad. Damn question though. Like, is it cheating though? If he put it in,
You like, bro,
no, it's like it's cheating, right? It's cheating, right? Like
I wish I was there.
if I went on a job, I'd be like, hell yeah, that's cheating. Your girl goofy as fuck, Joe. But I'm working. I ain't trying to get fired and shit, Joe. And just as well.
How I get fired for nigga shit that came inside my store? Let that be me. I'll be looking at her sideways. I'm like, real shit.
What this is like.
It was the look on her face that sold it all, cause she knew it was bullshit. Cause she knew that yo. I don't know if you ever saw a nigga that looked more guilty than this woman. Cause god damn did she look fucking guilty. It's like you weren't even trying to keep up the lie. You just said some shit to prolong the inevitable. What the fuck? Like
Well, you know what?
How bad of denial must you be that you have to ask a police stranger, hey.
No, that nigga, Buddy knew it was bullshit. He just needed a second opinion. He needed a second opinion.
That's needing validation. You knew that was sus. Now you look goofy saying that shit out loud.
You probably was
now
trying to embarrass her
y'all.
too.
I'm talking about both of y'all on the internet. It's a wrap. I'd have tweeted that shit. I'd have put that on Facebook. Like
that is a story for sure.
Yeah.
Once upon a jewel.
Y'all both foolish.
I put my phone out. Say that again on camera, on Beyonce's camera. Say that shit one more
because the
time.
minute I'd have found some shit out like that, I'm like, all right, say less, and it'd been over. Like, whew, fuck a discussion,
Looking
though.
like the fool with your pants on the ground.
That was funny.
I will never forget that shit. I'm like, bro, this is not. The day just turned left for no fucking reason, Joe. I'm like, bro. And that's the reason why I worked that job only for 3 months. And I just said, fuck this, Joe. This is bullshit.
like this ain't cheating, sir. This is cheating. What?
The fact that it got this far is cheating.
First of all,
so they just kiss genitals?
No. First of all, why is this penis anywhere near your girl's ass, bro? That's no.
Look, there's more questions there than answers that you probably want to hear. So you probably just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Just like no, good.
That shit. No, see, I was 21 then. If 31-year-old me had heard that shit, I'd entertain that shit as much as possible, because that would have meant because to the outside, I was helping the customer, man. I would have milked that shit for all it's worth, because I hated that fucking job. But you know what?
And that's when the TVA would have came in. You deviated from the timeline, sir. No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what? she sounds like a Loki variant. The way she's scheming that motherfucker.
Chaos.
The scheme wasn't that good.
That was a bad lie.
That was a terrible fucking lie. That was a terrible fucking excuse.
You said she's a good variant. It's just a variant.
You right.
Hey, why is this nigga's dick anywhere near your vagina? Like, come on. Like, what do you expect? What excuse are you trying to make here? But the look of guilt was so fucking hilarious, bro. Like, she knew she fucked up. She literally knew she fucked up, and yet she persisted. Boy,
to our viewers, thank you for holding out this long.
We might clip this shit because this is funny.
No. What's her face similar to the Black Loki's face when he got conned by President Loki? He was like, what?
No.
I was a big pig.
No, it was so much worse. It's like, she had the look on the face like she knew she shit the bed, but she trying to pretend like she didn't.
Damn.
Like she farted and made it extra loud, but it wasn't her.
You riding mother. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so that was the summer of 2011.
Let me drink my water. That was too much.
And she meets and like she kind of links up with Mobius.
Morpheus.
Who
know.
Mobius.
Damn, is it Mobius or
My
Morpheus?
boy, my boy,
Mobius.
Hey, I just want to give a
With the
quick
beat.
shout out to
With the
Mobius.
beat.
Like my boy rolling up with the beat, the pizza mobile, like get in, motherfucker. I was like,
I was happy to see my boy Mobius for sure.
I knew he was gonna show up because we know they didn't die. I didn't think it was gonna be at that moment.
I just know that if he found a jet ski, he would try his best to try to use that. He would have tried his best to go out there on a jet ski. That was the next best thing, but the fact that he rode out there was like, hey, get in. And then he criticized that the fact that you got in the car with a stranger. It's like,
baby, we in the void. I will hop in with anybody at this point.
why are you trying to give her a daddy talk joke?
I think it's a void that everybody is in the same location.
Wait, hold up. What up, Dre?
Question.
That means that he's a dad.
Hold up.
He's a dad.
What up, Dre?
When anybody saw Elias, did anybody get James and the Giant Peach flashbacks? All I saw was the rhino. And I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yes.
I get Aladdin's like flashback, but yeah, that works too. Yeah.
Yeah, James and Giant Peach, man. The whole ocean runner from them. He just comes in. Yeah, it's like
that was a trippy ass movie. It scared the shit out of me as a kid. I'm like, mommy, I'm gonna lose this video.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy. I did not rent that again.
Giant bugs. I mean,
I'm good on that.
Like, why are rhinos gobbling up your parents? How did we get here?
I'd say the creepiness was probably more because it was stop motion compared to just regular 3D animation. Which I like. There's like a nostalgic feeling when it comes to claymation or stop motion animation. I would say like it's because it feels a little dated because you could see the framework. But at the same time, it's like
nostalgic horror. That's what it was.
Nostalgic or vintage. Like it's a time zone. I would say that our style of animation is a time.
We all over the place today. All right,
we are. Man, timeline.
I'm letting this shit happen. Just because whatever.
How the episode was.
This is a variant conversation.
Sylvie got back to. Or got to the void.
All right,
so
eventually they outrun that big massive bullshit, and everybody links up, of course, because this is after the fact that after that Loki battle royale, that pretty much happened. That's what it was. It was a Loki battle royale, and so.
Oh yeah, the arm. I mean the.
That's talking. I said, fuck this shit.
He's like, I'll get up. I was not expecting his hand to get bitten out. I was like, but then he started whipping him up, and then he's like,
yeah, he snapped that shit.
Probably the most gruesome scene of this whole series so far.
So Sylvie, Mobius, and the Lokis hook up. Link up. They about to challenge this shit. So and like Sylvie and Loki have sort of like a moment. I want to get people's opinions on that forbidden bullshit.
When I saw that, I knew we were gonna cut up on this recording. When I saw that shit, I'm like, I could hear Will right now singing "Jang-a-lang, Jang-a-lang." I'm like, no, it wasn't supposed to go this far. Stop fucking up with the shit.
So, Drea, did you get romantic vibes from that time?
I didn't like that they were actually doing that. I'm like, no. Cut it out.
I mean, if a narcissist is gonna find love.
But you know what? Sylvie never had a friend. She grew up in fucking apocalypse, sis.
And I mean, honestly, it seems like our Loki is the one doing the most, like, being more affectionate. It's not really Sylvie. It's more.
I think Sylvie just accepts it because she never had anybody. I think she even said, "I never had friends." Yeah. Never.
I think Loki just fond of her.
She's like, I grew up in the end of 1,000 worlds.
But at the same time,
you're the only one that stuck around. A variant of me. Of all the friends I could make is a fucking variant of me.
Yes.
In this itchy ass blanket.
Let me just say this, like, she's way smarter than our Loki. Like the fact some of these plans that Loki come up with, I'm just like, you gonna go kill the cloud monster?
Yeah.
That's the best you can do?
I mean,
The cloud monster?
I mean, let's be honest. We've watched enough shonen and enough shoujo anime to know that the main character never has a good plan. And they usually say some
Yeah,
wild.
they're
They
kinda
usually say
dumb.
some wild shit, like yo, or like, or like the bad guy said, or like the bad guys come up with a plan that's so fucking ridiculous. Like, yo, what's wrong with this nigga? Like, shit. Damn. Hold on. Like we were talking about Avatar a minute ago. Remember when Ozai literally said, so what you had said, so basically again, if we to beat the if we're gonna beat the Earth Nation, what you're saying is we have to kill the Hope. Nigga, what? Hope? You telling me like it's a nigga to fight? Boy, what the fuck is wrong? So like
Their Hope.
you gotta kill Hope. No one.
I mean, he was right, but that was a jump, hop, skip to fucking Hope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he's going straight for the heart. You know what I mean? I mean, you go back to Rogue One.
It was at
You
that
go back
moment.
to Rogue One. In Rogue One, like she was like, "What are you for? Hope. Your hope is what caused the rebellion. Help push the rebellion."
It was at that moment Zuko knew his father had to die. Like, yo,
I was just talking about that. Sorry, not a tangent, but
it's a Nexus event. Going divert.
But like the fact that everybody was just like, yeah, you're gonna have to kill the Fire Lord, and A was just kind of like,
you know what? That's a conversation. That's a conversation for another day. I have a problem with that. That's a conversation.
You do? Okay,
yes,
okay. I can't wait to hear.
That's a problem for another day.
All right, but
back on the bullshit.
Yeah, the point is like, what you feel about that? About Sylvie and Loki, basically. I don't know what that is. I don't even know. I don't even know if I want to even put a label on it, because that shit.
I'm not putting a label on it.
I'm not either. They even like that's weird. But Sylvia's socially awkward because she don't have friends. And then Loki, this is the first time in his timeline that he actually gave a fuck. So
he got 2 friends too. I'm like,
look at you, upgrade. Even Mobius like Sylvie. You're my favorite.
She really grown on me because I really didn't all care for her that much, but I really like her now. Yeah, it's hard to put a label on it because it seems romantic, but probably because
there's mutual respect there,
male and
definitely.
female.
Yeah,
I think it's the framing. The framing does it.
It's too sad.
I've done that. Like I've had my cover on a friend before, and it wasn't romantic. Or even me and Cam went camping, and I'm like, oh, let me put my cover on my friend. Like it's not romantic, but just because we never seen Loki in this way, maybe we're painting it as romance, but it's not inherently romantic.
But let's not be wrong. They frame it that way. It's to the point even Mobius was thinking, damn, really? Your variant? And I'm like, y'all pushing that? And I'm sorry, that's just Hollywood shit. Y'all don't have to force this chemistry. Just let them be cool. Even I'm cringing watching that shit. I'm like, y'all really trying to sell this? Can you not? We don't need that. Let Loki make a friend.
Hey, I saw 8 seasons of a fucking nephew trying to fuck his aunt. Like, leave me alone. Like, what
did you watch?
Game of Thrones.
Oh, you right. You right.
Remember, they told first episode they tried to sell you on the idea of incest, and like
this is not incest though. I'm just saying, throwing it out there. Well, Loki and Sylvie is not incest.
Is it masturbation as Will has?
Yeah, that's a real question. What would you call this?
Is it self-ception? How would we describe this?
It's in like
you know what? There is an actual hentai. I think this is a hentai genre with this is called self-cessed. I am not kidding. Self-cessed.
Wow.
Interesting.
I'm
gonna take that for research purposes.
Yeah, I'm curious on that one.
Ken, what is your opinion about the self-cess between Loki and Sylvie?
Not much. It's just intimacy. It's just because
I'm with it.
our main Loki went through his whole life like the closest thing he had to a friend is his brother, which he conflicts with all the time. And other side of the coin is Sylvie, who never had a chance to really have any friends because that's the first time we've seen her as the youngest form. She's out there playing by herself, which means she's not really that haven't been around others.
He
But
got
then
socialized.
yeah, and then but from the jump as a kid, I had to get kidnapped and then learn how to survive. She's not learn how, but yeah, she had to survive. Like she had to have a chance to make friends. I'm sure she went through a lot of points where she tried to make friends and then it happened that way, or it didn't happen, or it didn't work out well, or she's been through a lot. I mean, she was introduced when we discovered her, when we saw her, she surviving through apocalypses. Like
yeah, she wasn't making any
her
type
day
of
to day. She wakes up brushing her teeth in the middle of like 1,000 people getting bodied over some shit. Like it's like
That's trauma.
yeah, I was like
Very
she's
much.
used to this. Like she's used to like you get so. I would say like as someone who like grew up with at least my dad's side of the family, a lot they're a lot older when I was born into the family. So I went to a lot of funerals when I was growing up. So I got a little bit more desensitized to that a little bit. I would say get used to it because you never want to get used. You're not used to it, but you're just less affected.
You
Compartmentalize. You feel like you're more muted from it, but even though you're not, you're still more muted. Like it doesn't your reaction isn't as drastic. So she's I want to say she's a veteran, but she's experienced. Like she's been through some stuff, so she's used to not having friends. So this is her first real connection. So it's like for your version. The movie basically, but like it's their first like real like intimate connection. But it's not, but it's perceived from others as like super romantic. But it's because it's the first time for them, it's hyped up for them. But for everyone else, like we've seen this before. You guys go through it. Like no, they're not there. It's just. Yeah,
I mean, you say that, but I live on the internet where Rule 34 is a thing. So
woo.
Wait, what is Rule 34?
Girl, your childhood hasn't been ruined yet. Well, Rule 34.
Basically, if it exists on the internet, there's porn of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
So no, there's porn. I guarantee you, there's porn of like Loki and Sylvie fucking somewhere.
Ooh, research purposes.
I mean, like that's just like that's how the internet works. Like
that's
the moment
the internet.
And then it's conceived like they're going like, oh, what if this person hooked up with this person? Like that's going to happen.
Y'all should have seen what the niggas did to Samsung Sam. That shit was I don't know what. I don't
want to see, but
I'm gonna ignore that.
Unfortunately,
I do want to know what he wanted to say to her.
For them, like this is an enhanced experience because this is their first time to have this type of connection. While with other people, they had these.
I'm with you.
I'm with it. It makes me wonder what he wanted to say to her before he got zap.
Yeah,
like, this is a first for me. This is and I'm like, what were you going to say?
I care about you or some shit.
Like, say it, damn it. I wonder if you're gonna say it like finish that statement next episode because I was like, good. What are you gonna say, Loki? Sounds like there's personal growth here. I mean, you already grown with Sylvie's kneeing you in the not Sylvie, Seth kneeing you in the balls for like on a loop. What are you gonna say, Loki? Show us your growth, sir.
Yeah, but
I would say that they're both like emotionally immature. So that's why I said it's like some sort of like innocence with it because it seems brand new for both of them. Like
that's so awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward, and that's why I was like, I didn't catch romantic vibes, but I could see how people could perceive it as romantic. So.
It looked like I could see how people perceive it. It looked like an awkward first love, but it doesn't have to be like that serious. It's just that's their first connection with anybody.
Exactly. It was definitely intimate, and I think people confuse intimate with romance.
Like intimacy don't have to be sexual.
Exactly.
Oh yes. If you didn't know, viewers, intimacy doesn't have to be sexual.
It It reminds me of Rogue One with Cassian and what's her name? Their connection. Throughout
The main character.
yeah, yeah, the main character and Cassian, like
Doesn't
towards
matter.
the
She
end-
dies.
well, they both died. But they died. Like they had that connection,
Oh, wait, that's the
intimacy
wrong.
more than like
That's the wrong sound bite. Never mind. Fuck it.
it
Ignore
was
me.
like it was kind of teased throughout of it as like being more of a romantic thing, but like
Yeah.
it was like they're just both like
People.
because it was similar to like Cassian was kind of like the main character Loki, while the main character in Rogue One, I'll keep blanking on her name. But
Jen?
she was
Jane.
Jen Erso. There you go.
She
Jen,
had like
yeah,
50
Thank you,
fucking. She had like
Wikipedia.
50 fucking names, bro. So
yeah,
name
that's
one of
main
them.
names. But yeah, but she was kind of like Sylvie, where she's like a veteran who like kind of just been as a child, like her
Been
parent
around the
lost
block.
both her parents. Yeah, had to learn to survive. So I just that type of like connection, I feel like this is similar, like similar direction that they're going, where it's more of an intimate connection. It has potential of going more, but we don't know yet. But as of right now, it's just more of a genuine intimacy.
All right. Well, what up, Dre? What you wanted to say?
I mean, I just probably add that people have I think just put too much value on romantic relationships, that we see it everywhere. And I just wish it wasn't framed that way, that we have to have a questioning conversation about it. Like, people could have a platonic friendship.
True.
We don't have to prioritize romantic relationship every single time.
Right.
Every single time. Even if it doesn't, fruition into anything on film, you don't have to do that shit every single time. Like, even Pacific Rim, you could tell they was,
Yeah.
but it didn't amount to anything on screen. But I'm like, did we really need it? No. Stop putting that on there. Like, that's the only thing we live for.
That's a good point. And to counter that point, I had to remember that it's Disney who owns Marvel, and technically Sylvie is a princess of Asgard, so that makes her a Disney princess. And they set them ass up on some sort of goose chase, romance bullshit. I'm not saying that what's happening here is a romance, because I feel like it's more about mutual respect than it is a romance, but it is a Disney property. Sylvie is a Disney princess at this point, technically. If you really want to get into the weeds about it.
If you want to reach, sure.
Yeah, that's a reach.
If you're talking about the actual merchandising, no.
I'm not here to make shit make sense.
They're not gonna be in the lineup.
Hello.
I'm here to spark chaos and shit, yo.
If you got a Mulan right next to Sylvie,
Sylvie.
Sylvie with some daggers.
I'll buy it.
No, because you know what? If she shows up in the Kingdom Hearts game, then you know it's real.
We're not talking about that shit.
No, I don't want to talk about it either. That's a fucking headache. All right, so moving on. The battle with the space thingy. With the Goliath, yeah. We see Loki and Sylvie going at it. We see old Loki. Do his shit. This man literally.
Can we get a drink for old Loki? I'm out of drink.
Hell no.
Someone take a drink.
I'm good.
I'm proud too.
Go ahead, Ken. I see you pouring up. Do it for old Loki. Yes. What?
Old Loki literally made a scale replica of Asgard. Boy,
beautiful. That's the first, this episode's the first time I actually gave a fuck about special effects.
Yeah.
Visual effects is the first time I actually gave a shit. And I saw that, I'm like, God damn.
Go crazy.
They say that budget for this episode, because like the whole episode was special effects.
Yes, well, it was definitely a spectacle for sure.
It'd be like that one old head off the block that be showing like the young niggas like some new shit. It'd be like, I got you, young blood, and just do some shit that's like, how the fuck did you do this? Like, bro, that's exactly what that was, bro. It was like the hardest flex. Cause like neither Loki nor fucking Sylvie could do some shit at that level, but like
Now we
So-
see the
Bring it
potential,
back.
right?
They got
So-
the
so I
potential
bring
for
it
sure,
back.
but
yeah.
Can we? Can we bring it back? Old Loki was all alone on a fucking planet until he wanted to step off and visit his brother because he's like, damn, I miss my homie. I want to see if he missed me.
that
The
is
TVA
that's
picked his
fucked
little
up.
ass up.
That is
And he
is
said
fucked
that
up.
anytime
Yeah.
a Loki try to better himself, shit pops off.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fucked
We
up.
can never
Yes.
be happy. We're always alone. We're just a bunch of fucking outcasts. We don't have a point in this world. We just roaches of the universe. And he just came through and like, I found my glorious purpose. Fuck you, motherfuckers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Gang, gang.
that was awesome.
Ooh, that was beautiful.
That shit
Can you
hit.
take another shot for old Loki? I don't have no more drinks.
No, I gotta refill. Okay, I will.
I got nothing.
You
Like
didn't fight
Whitney, I
that hard
have
at all.
nothing.
No, I'm saying no. We gotta keep it. We gotta keep it restocked from now on. You can't.
I
Nobody
know,
can be dry. You
I
can't be dry.
know. I just finished this bottle.
No,
Dude.
fuck
Oh,
y'all.
Loki.
The last
Oh,
time, no,
Loki,
fuck y'all. The
man.
last time we tried this shit, I hurt.
Oh, you heard the next day?
I was hurt. I was hurt.
But it
bro.
was a beautiful recording. I've watched it.
Bro,
With glorious
every time I
purpose.
watch myself like smash on these fucking
I-
recordings.
I think it was
die?
Mandalorian.
No, hey, fuck you.
Say it again,
fuck you.
Ken.
No,
Was
fuck you.
that Mandalorian?
No, Ken is the last nigga I want to hear that shit from. Fuck you.
But did you die?
I've done dumb shit. I've done dumb shit
Ooh.
because I got drunk, nigga. Like,
Come
I
on
don't know
now.
too many niggas who do somersaults down the street. Like, fucking,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yes.
You did that one roll on the sidewalk.
I've done
Yeah,
it several
you stupid.
times. Like,
You know what?
Man,
You
you done
you
some
have-
dumb shit too.
You
Just
haven't
throwing
linked
it out
up with
there.
us. We need to get you white girl wasted when we link up again. I wanna see
Yeah,
some-
we do.
no, I'm good. I'm good. I have never. The only
Yeah, you're not
time, the
gonna
only
drink
time,
with us?
the only time I've been white girl wasted was probably like the first
Oh,
time I
my-
actually said, "Fuck this, I'm not gonna be straight edge anymore." That's probably the only time I've been white girl wasted. That's the only time I like ever like
That's
lost
sad.
memory, lost my memory.
She said that's
You know what, Brittany?
That was a while ago.
Brittany, I had enough of you, Brittany. I've seen the
I'm
shit
here
that you,
for
I've
it.
seen the shit that you get into when you get drunk.
I'm
the
here
dumb shit
for
you've been
it.
doing and shit.
I'm here
Hey,
for it.
I haven't done as many dumb shit as Kid has, so I'm okay.
I
Remember Kid,
mean-
he jumped off the
What?
roof. And-
Me, it's like, well,
Kim,
first off,
pop,
first
lock,
off-
and drop it on that fucking knee. Leave Ken alone.
God damn it.
He needs a permanent brace on that
Nah.
What you
fucking
gonna say,
leg.
Kid? What you gonna say?
first off, a lot of shit that happens don't even be me. It's be like shit that other people happen during events that I have because I just want to always have to host events that people go through and get fucked up in. And secondly,
Anyways, let's
Hey,
continue.
That bullshit. That motherfucker damn.
Yeah. Secondly, I do dumb shit. Like that's what you about to say. I love you, bro. I love you. I love you, Kid.
I
He
say-
was surely feeding us drinks when we were over.
I mean, I feed y'all drinks, but I say like decisions up to y'all.
Oh, please. I made sure my cute black ass made it home. Period.
For some reason, I can work a Lyft or an Uber app just as well when I'm sober when I'm drunk. Like that shit. Like, no, I need to change the destination. This ain't gonna work. I need to change my whole day schedule. This shit, yeah. I still got memories of that fucking brunch. That shit was.
I mean, it's like I say, drink responsibly.
But
Hey, bro.
Loki.
Hey, bro, hit the corner real quick. Let me.
I'm gonna say that. Well, it's not on this image, but I was gonna say that out of all the Lokis, old Loki had the longest and most dopest horns.
Yes.
Mhm.
He
Most
even asked,
definitely.
like, you wear the horns. Why you listen to this child? I killed Thor, bitch. I've been here before all y'all.
I was like,
He's like, you wear the horns. You were wearing the horns.
He had a whole candy cane Christmas throne downstairs in the basement. He's like,
with his little high C juice box. I was like, oh.
right? Everybody drinking wine. He still.
Nigga
I was
had
like,
a
damn
high
right.
seat box with a fucking pet alligator, pretty much. Like
I would
that shit
say
was.
I would say that it's old Loki trying to protect that young Loki with his innocence, because
That
like
was so sweet.
yeah,
I
so
felt
Yeah,
that.
because he basically been
I
everywhere
really like
he
him.
been everywhere he had already been. Just like
Yeah. The
I
fact
mean,
that he
him
fooled.
retelling the story of like what happened with Thanos
Come on,
and like
come
how
on.
he was able to get out of that situation, and I was like looking at our Loki, like you
So-
definitely not as strong as this nigga because his ass definitely got choked the fuck out, and old Loki was just like, yeah, I made a whole fucking projection of myself that was so real that even Thanos thought it was real. It's like, wow,
It's
So-
like
literally telling us the power gap right there.
but what really got to me was that, Loki have been told over and over again throughout the series that you deserve to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
You cause destruction everywhere you fucking go. In a timeline, Loki was supposed to die by Thanos, but because Loki isolated himself, you didn't fuck up the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was cool. You didn't fuck shit up till you try to leave.
So he didn't want to be alone anymore.
That was fucked up. I
It
felt
was-
that
it
in my
was
chest.
sad.
yeah.
Woo.
So yeah, just to reiterate how vast the TVA is, like just as an example, like they were just out there in the field and a variant of a whole fucking destroyer ship from World War II just popped up in the field. Like what the fuck? It's like, and that's like an example of how this motherfucker just devours shit instantly. It's like that's a whole big ass hunk of metal ship with hundreds of people on board. That's all just deemed a variant from one instance. What did one person, one thing happened to cause all of that become a variant, and then all of a sudden, but like it shows how
It's
crazy this world is.
Yeah, but the thing is, they reset a whole timeline, so it's like I think whatever is in that timeline ends up getting sent to the void. It's not just
Yeah.
people specifically.
That's what they
it's
said.
whatever there. It's whatever
They don't have
I
they don't
was
have the
saying, like,
power to destroy matter. That shit need to be moved. So I think it's like
Which
on
is
the
like the
grand scale, how many
laziest-
people died?
Which is like the laziest American-made shit you can possibly do. Like just
Control
get
alt
like
delete.
yeah, it's just like yo, we have a problem here, so we just gonna send it somewhere else and just not worry about it. Brittany, you look lit than a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I'm a little.
You know
bit.
what? The way they say move stuff it remind me of Patrick from SpongeBob. Let's move Bikini Bottom from the Alaskan bullworm. We're just gonna move this
they
shit
did it. They did that shit.
into the void. And you know what? It's not going to matter.
Okay.
The TVA is just irritating. Like how many
Yeah.
people
They
you
are.
killed for the sacred timeline?
Yeah.
You say
Mhm.
fuck them hoes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's so vast. It's so fucked up.
Okay, all right.
Whew.
Okay, so
Anyway.
all right, so after they beat the monster and shit and they get control of it and so on and so forth, Mobius goes back to TVA. Loki and Sylvie make their way to that interdimensional cabin where Buddy is jerking off at whoever's responsible for this bullshit. So not impressions, predictions. Predictions. What do y'all think is gonna happen in the final episode of Loki?
We have nothing to go on but a castle.
I will say this, okay?
It's not even a
I'm
house moving castle.
a big MCU fan, and I'm gonna say the colors look like the quantum. Focus. The quantum
realm.
Yes, the colors, like they're so specific, and I was just like, I wonder if this is gonna play a part of the story, but it definitely could because isn't it just like I don't know really what the quantum realm is, but I mean I know they use it in MCU, and I'm just thinking like the colors really was similar. It may not be, but it definitely gave me that vibe. So other than that, I really don't know what's going to happen. Like I hate the theory that it's going to be another Loki that's in charge. I
doubt it.
Thoroughly. Like if y'all tell me it's another Loki, like nigga, what is the point of the show? To tell me that
It's too
like
easy.
Loki is it's too fucking easy, and I wouldn't care. So y'all better give me the next MCU villain or the
You're
villain
right.
that's working for the main
Like-
villain. Because don't give me no bullshit like that.
Like, start off the rest of Phase 4. Like, this needs to
You
have
need
a
to
payoff.
introduce the big bad. Yes.
But I don't know how Loki's supposed to end. Like, I don't know what's supposed to be the end game for Loki and Sylvie. I can't anticipate that. It's cute when they were imagining what they will do when they take down the TVA and we can just exist, you know, as homies, as friendsies.
Well, the end. Well, ultimately, ultimately, the end game is the madness of the multiverse. So that's what this and was it WandaVision has basically been the lead up to was madness of the multiverse.
So you think we're gonna get the villain of the madness of the multiverse?
Possibly.
Or no?
Or at least a part of it. Like it could be.
That's a Doctor Strange movie, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it guaranteed to incorporate Loki and
Yes.
They'll have to because they literally said on the first episode, like, "Yo, you create a multiverse, all existence will descend into madness."
It's superbly insinuated. It doesn't mean they have to.
No,
but it's superbly
you don't go to those lengths to mention that sort of like. You don't go to those lengths to use that terminology and just not fuck with it. That makes absolutely no sense.
Disney,
because the one thing
not follow through.
Yeah, but
it's 95%. It's 95% confirmed. It's just not 100%.
No,
I'm saying
the
like
one thing Marvel is good at. Well, one thing Disney is good at doing is baiting people into other shit, into his expanded universe.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's almost guaranteed. It's not fully guaranteed just yet.
It's guaranteed. We don't know how.
It's guaranteed. We don't know how, but it's guaranteed. It's all but guaranteed.
That's what I was leading at. It's like we don't know how. That's the missing percentage. Like
that's the beautiful part. They always catch me off guard, and I
don't know how Falcon and Winter Soldier is gonna play a part of this shit. That's why I'm just like, how the hell? I
don't think they play into the multiverse. Just some other shit.
But I feel like there's always like an A plot and a B plot. So
we trying to.
They're the B plot.
But what's your predictions though? What's your predictions of the final episode? That's what I'm trying to get.
To meet the Wizard of Oz.
We're gonna finally figure out who is in charge or behind the whole TVA.
Do you think they will survive? I mean, they'll have to survive.
Like they have to because they're already like characters that. I mean, why go through all of this stuff?
Will Sylvie survive though? Because Loki might be in the madness, but not necessarily Sylvie.
I would think she would be. Like, why introduce a character just to go kill her off right at the end? Because she's actually pretty well liked. Yeah, but y'all once again, this is still Disney, and they trying to crush y'all spirits.
I've been raised by Game of Thrones. I'm used to my feelings being hurt,
being crushed by Game of Thrones. So
so many people are pissed about Taskmaster right now, off of Black Widow.
I've heard. That's why I'm like, ooh, I want to see the movie, but
I ain't paying $30 for that shit. That's nuts.
Hell nah, I'm waiting till Tuesday.
I'm waiting till October. The fuck you talking about?
$5 Tuesdays, girl.
I'm waiting till.
Are you speaking in tequila to put in your slushy?
Ooh, that's a great idea. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But yeah, that's all my prediction for Loki. That's I can't really think of anything.
Anybody else?
Ooh, well, Renslayer come back up. There's so much shit to think about. But is she gonna meet them up at the house, at the mansion, at the warehouse, or she gonna be just big mad at the TVA?
I think Renslayer is still gonna be at the TVA because Mobius is coming back to the TVA, and he's gonna have to deal with her ass and the rest of them.
Ooh,
and the rest
he
of
gonna start, man, bitch been acting funny.
No, there's a few. I mean, there's a lot of ways to go about with this shit, but
God damn it! All right, come on.
I can say like with Mobius going back to the TVA, like some shit gonna go down. They're either gonna like restructure that together, or shit pops off and it gets in chaos, and somehow old dude from the front desk that has all the Infinity Stones take charge.
Hey, what happened? What happened to that motherfucker like take charge?
I don't even know what a fish is.
No.
It's too
take
much.
charge. He deserves that promotion.
You know what? There's too much to think about. It's like, I wonder if the TVA going to disintegrate, and that's what caused the multiverse of madness, because nobody gives a fuck about variants no more. Because it's like, we all had a life, and you took that away from us. So all the people in TVAs is like, what the fuck I'm going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what that's going to cause a multiverse. There's so many shit to cause chaos, not just Wanda.
It would be like a second snap. So like instead of like the people coming back from the snap, it'd be variants coming back from multiverses.
Ooh, that's gonna be messy.
Yeah.
That's like having a cookout, all your cousins popping up that you didn't invite. You don't even know you really cousins. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Instead of one person knocking a drink over, it's like someone knocked the whole table over.
Like, just lift it up entirely. That's messy. I hope not.
All right. Anybody?
You will.
Anybody? Oh, my predictions. Damn, whoever's in that fucking, I don't know, bro. I really don't know. I kind of.
Do we have anybody?
I kind of called
in the casting list that hasn't been exposed yet.
I don't know. I kind of called that. The only thing I really called, I feel like I kind of won on, is the fact that the timekeepers were like bullshit to the start, and like, I don't know, man. Whoever the fuck is in this interdimensional castle and shit, whatever the fuck it is, I don't know. There's nothing leading me into like this shit, Joe. Like, I don't know who it could be. I don't know who the fuck. I don't know what the fuck is going on, or who could possibly be at the heart of this shit. Because it's likely gonna be somebody who nobody expects. Is gonna subvert expectations or some shit. And so,
are there anybody we anticipate? Like, y'all Marvel heads.
Hey, if it's Pietro Maximoff, I'm gonna be pissed.
I say Kang the
Quicksilver.
Conqueror. That's what I'm saying.
You mean from Renslayer original timeline?
What did you say, Brittany?
Kang the Conqueror. Kang.
Yeah,
Kang.
That's what because he's been casted already in the MCU. He's the black guy from Lovecraft Country. So
which one?
Yeah, or Tick.
Is Zaddy?
It is. So that like he's already casted. So I'm like, it could be him. And doesn't he deal with timelines?
I mean, he was part of Renslayer's original timeline.
I mean,
he was kicking it. He was sweet on her, and she's like, I don't want to fuck with you though.
Mm-hmm. So it could be him. That's one person.
Although
that's interesting.
They got
I have nothing.
Well, they got Ruby, and Ruby keeps getting herself into trouble, so it only makes sense. I don't know. Right? We'll see what happens with
Ruby.
That though. But
I love how Lovecraft are putting people on. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Get them coins, black people. Get
them Disney checks.
But other than that, I don't really have an accurate prediction on what the fuck might happen from this shit. So it is what it is, and we really need to end this shit. We've been at this shit for almost an hour and a half now.
Ooh,
so
goddamn, all right.
How are we gonna do the next episode? Who's hosting? Is it Kenneth? Are we gonna get as drunk as fuck? It's the last episode of
It is Ken, and I want to get drunk as fuck, but I do want to get lit.
Why not? It's for the God of Mischief.
We already like an hour and a half on this one, and we're not even drunk as fuck. Imagine us rambling and trying to stay.
Are we cutting some of this, or this is just going to be unedited?
Will, are you gonna take the moment and edit this a little bit?
I'm already having a hard enough time with fucking throwback showdown shit. I'm gonna do minimum editing on this shit, but I'm not gonna waste too much time on it.
I feel you. Yeah,
that's cool.
Like when my fat ass got up and grabbed the fucking Frosty from Wendy's, I might cut that shit out. But
yes.
But for the most part, I'm not. For the most part, I ain't gonna be cutting too much shit out, Joe. This is excessive.
It is. Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm here for random clips on Instagram. I love our hilarity. For more comedy, please like and subscribe. Let's close this bitch out.
All right, everybody. That's this what would you call it? This episode discussion of Loki, the penultimate episode leading up into the season finale. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on our socials. It should be down below in the description. But yeah, and this is Echo 4 signing off. Deuces.
And that's how Mary had a little lamb.